This story begins in the farthest forest of West Virginia. To climb the deserted road, a couple named Rich and Halley can be seen intending. Rich reaches the top, and recognizes a filthy stream of water in front of him, and, after applauding oneself on his victory, he promptly orders Halley. Now we see that Halley's foot is slipped while climbing, but controlling her she again tries to climb up. Here he calls Rich for help, but gets worried about not seeing him before. Suddenly she is shocked finding the fallen blood drops on her face. She lays eyes on Rich, who has fallen down by someone. Before understanding anything, someone begins to pull her up forcefully. But she handles herself cutting her rope. But losing her grip, she falls down, where she sees Rich's corpse. Seeing him, she starts crying. At the same time, some voices are heard from the mountain. Hearing them, she moves to her car in order to rescue her life. But her foot is trapped in a barbed wire and she falls. And that murderer takes her with him dragging. Now we know the occurrence of robberies in this region, where the news reveals the theft of cars one after another. Even people claim to view witchcraft in this area. We again view a passing car in this region, where we see Chris, who is going for an interview in another city. During the journey, he is caught in a traffic jam. And he finds himself late when the traffic does not move ahead. Getting off the car, he goes to the front standing truck, where he asks the reason of traffic jam from truck driver. Driver tells him that at the distance of 5 miles, a chemical truck has turned upside down, so they have to spend many hours here. Hearing it, he comes to his car and gets in worrying condition. Finding himself stuck in traffic, he turns his car around. And he informs company of his being late. But the phone is disconnected because of the mountain area. In his search for a phone, he notices a gas station sign and drives his car there. On the way, he observes the ownerless cars one after another, and passing beside them, he reaches a gas station, where he encounters the owner of a gas station who seems a sick person. Now he tries to inform company people getting of the car. But he cannot contact because the phone is dead. Now he asks the owner of the gas station about the other address, which leads to the city, but he ignores his conversation. Suddenly, he lays his eyes on the clipped map there, where he finds a rough road leading to the city. Pondering it, he leads his car to that rough road. And he sees a dead deer. As a result, his car is crushed with the front car. A fatal accident occurs in both cars, but Chris has survived. The owners of this car have now approached him and inquired about his health. Restoring himself, he apologizes of his mistake from them, and talks to return the payment of loss on his part. Along with it, he asks the reason for the car stoppage in the mid of the road, where Francine responds that someone has spread the barbed wire on the road, so their car's tire has punctured. One of their friends suggests going to the previous gas station for a call, but Chris forbids them to go there. All decide to go alone, but Evan and Francine stop for taking care of the cars. Now they discover a dead mongoose on the way. It seems someone has thrown it, tearing its midst. Walking at a distance, they see the burning tires of cars, which indicate the danger. But he asks to move further. There we see Francine and Evan, who feel a movement in nearby bushes. And he goes to check, but Francine has got worried about not finding him. She goes after him to search. While walking, she notices Evan's shoe. As he goes near it, a cut ear of Evan is also seen. Looking at it, she starts crying. Then a person puts her into death attaching. We see the remaining people at the end of the road. All 4 persons go for a helping hand. While walking, they discover a house and move towards it for help. Chris has gone upset noticing the number of cars. He knocks at the door for asking help. Soon they know there is no one in the house. All come inside for making a contact, where they see a dining table. It shows this house has not been cleaned for a long time. On the other side, glasses and car keys are found. Opening the refrigerator, he is left astonished. We find the different limbs in the refrigerator. Jessie sees the same barbed wire which had torn her tire of the car. Now all 4 begin to escape. At the same time, Chris peeps into the window and observes a coming vehicle there. All 4 run to the back door, but finding it locked, all are frightened. On the other side, we see the murderer enter the room, and simply throw Francine's dead body. And we see Chris and Jessie, who are scared and saw her dead body. We see the 3 cannibals, who place Francine's dead body on the table for the first time. They start to cut her with their sharp tools. Catching sight of this bloodshed, as Jessie is nearly to scream, Scott places his hand on her mouth. After a while, those cannibals fall into a deep slumber as they eat the dead body. Finding chance, all try to leave stealthily. During it, A cannibal looks at them. Seeing him, all escape at the backside. At first sight, cannibals reach there searching them. And Chris intends to steal their vehicles while screaming to divert his attention away from him. However, a cannibal shoots him, causing him to fall and sustain injuries. Observing it, all three are shocked. Now we notice Scott running into the forest. Noticing the truck, he moves towards it. At the same time, an arrow pierces him. And the other three escape, saving their lives. At a distance, their truck is stuck in the mud. And they have to leave the truck behind. All three lead to the road from the forest, rescuing them. Day turns into evening. And those cannibals go for hunting of three of them. On the other side, three of them take a rest at a place after getting tired. Where Carly asks them to look up. As they look, turning themselves, a watchtower is seen in front of them. They feel pleasure, and we see three of them climbing up. But they are saddened finding no one there. Where Jessie gets a first aid box, using it she dresses Chris. Further, Carly gets an old radio, playing it. Carly asks for help but does not get a response. Chris hears some sounds coming from downstairs. As he looks, he sees the three passing cannibals downside, and those three are seen climbing up the tower. And looking them, Chris places all belongings on the entry gate. And after a while, he noticed them leaving. And Carly starts broadcasting their location over the radio. Then the cannibals damage the wire of the radio and set the fire to the tower. Finding herself in flames, Carly takes the kept box and breaks the window of the tower for the safety of her life. Chris notices the tree downside and three of them save their life jumping on them. The three cannibals observe them, and aiming to catch them, they start to climb up the tree. And seeing their arrival, three of them are seen to move from one tree to another. While crossing a tree, a cannibal reaches near Carly. Finding a chance, he cuts her into two pieces, attacking his face. Now Chris stands up, stabilizing him. He hears the sound of a vehicle and notices a police van. Running, he stops the car. As the policeman steps towards him for his help, an arrow pierces his eye. Now we see a cannibal who comes to kill Chris. But Chris hides under the car, saving his life. The cannibal bends to search him but is left astonished, finding nothing. Now we see a house where the cannibals had fastened Jessie. As one-eyed cannibal is about to kill Jessie, he hears a coming vehicle sound from outside. Hearing it, one-eyed cannibal moves to the door. Chris hits and crushes the man who is sitting in his car. Getting off the car, he kills the last beast with the pointed arrow attacking him. Chris unbinds Jessie, saving her. A cannibal attacks him during this time. Now Jessie kills that cannibal with an arrow while looking at Chris dying. Both of them will be now leaving home. Chris suddenly focused his efforts on the police engine fuel box. This house was burned down by the large blast. We can now see the road where both of them will have reached the gas station by truck. And the owner of the station locks his door threateningly as he sees a truck impending. Chris exits the truck, detaches the map, and walks away.